Welcome to day 3, Operators and Expressions in Python. Every data transformation you perform, from calculating sales growth to comparing timestamp, filtering, joins, any operations, ultimately we use operators and we use expressions. What are operators? Operators are the special symbols or keyword that performs operations on values. In the last lecture, we have seen what are variables and their data types. Now we need to perform operations within those variables. Operators are the means to do that. Variables are operands, and the special symbols that tells what operations are going to be performed are called operators. And operators plus operands creates expressions. Let us take an example. Let's say revenue is a variable and it has a particular value. Similarly, cost is another variable. We all know that revenue minus cost is profit. So, in order to have a subtraction operation performed within these two variables, the operator minus is being used. So, revenue minus cost is profit. Let us try to print this quickly. You will see that a result is printed. Okay. The result didn't change because I already printed that. So let's do it again. Okay. So the value changed. So you can see, right, revenue minus cost is profit. Similarly, so this is a minus operator. Okay. Subtraction operator, you can say. And then there is another operator called multiply. This is price. And so there is one variable called price, and then there is another variable called quantity. So let's say we are buying a particular product and its price is 10, and the number of quantities that we are buying are 100. So total sales that has happened is going to be price into quantity, which is total sales. So this is a multiplication operator, and these plus, which is addition, minus, which is subtraction, then um, star, which is a multiplication, and a slash, which is a division, these are all called arithmetic operators. On the similar lines, we have something called comparison operator. Comparison operator are like the comparison symbols of mathematics, where double equal to stands for when we are comparing the two. Not equal to is when we check whether the two variables are not equal. Greater than, less than, greater than, equal to. So these are like different operators which are available. Let's take an example. Revenue. So we have some value of revenue which is 12,000 and target. So we say if the revenue is greater than or equal to target, then target is achieved. Let us quickly run. So if let's say we change the value, right? Revenue is 12,000, and if target was, let's say, 1 lakh, and we run that, we'll see that target achieved is false. So this is a greater than equal to operator. So always imagine that operation happens between the operands. Okay, and the answer is either true or false, and therefore you can use that in your conditional statements. So these are the comparison operators. Moving to logical operators. Logical operators are of three types in Python: and, or, not. And stands for both the condition needs to be true. So this is a combination operator that we are using. So this is the revenue, this is the cost. So if revenue is greater than, let's say, 10,000, and cost is less than 8,000, then we say that the operation is profitable, else the operation is not profitable. So this is a and operator. So for and, both the condition needs to be true. Even this has to be true, and even this has to be true. Then only the answer, then only true and true will be true, and you will get a true condition in if, and the profitable will be printed. Else the profitable will not be printed. You can see, let's say, if I just increase 1 0, so cost is now not less than 8,000, so it will print not profitable. Okay, so You understood, right? Like simple, for AND operator both has to be true, then only it becomes true. For OR operator, it is one of them is true, it will pass. One, even if one condition out of that is true, it will pass. And NOT is going to simply reverse whatever is the answer. Moving to assignment operators. Assignment operators are used to store the result in variables. So for example, records is equal to 100. This we have used many times, right? This equal to is an assignment operator where a value is then stored into a variable. And similarly, we have records plus equal to 100, which means that record is whatever is the value that is already there in the record plus 100 is added to it. Record is equal to record plus 100. This is almost equivalent to record is equal to record plus 100. Okay, like this. This is a shortcut way of writing it, plus equal to, and then you can simply print record is equal to record plus 100, and therefore 100 plus 100 answer is 200. Combining the expression, we seldom use any operator at a time. We have, while writing the code, we have to use a combination. So for example, in line 1 and 2 we are using an assignment operator. We are assigning the values into revenue and cost, and then we are trying to find out the profit margin, which is revenue minus cost divided by revenue into 100. Now this kind of calculation, it it needs a proper way of implementation. Even if we change anything by mistake, there is a chance that we will lose the correct meaning of it. For example, let's say, let me give you an example right away. Let's say I put 100 plus 100 into 2, correct? And let's print this value. Let's print this value. It is 300. On the similar lines, let's say you put it this way: 100 plus 100 into 2. Now what will be the answer? It is going to be 400, because the way operations are performed, or the way Python is an interpreter, correct? So the way Python interprets it changes the actual answer. So to have an understanding of how Python operates, there is a special rule. It's called operator precedence. Python evaluation of expression is guided by the order operator precedence. And how we remember the things in mathematics, it's almost the similar thing. There is a principle called BODMAS, BOD, B. So B stand for brackets, O for orders, which is like, let's say if you have any orders, division, division, multiplication, addition, and then subtraction. So like this, the bottomless operators are performed. And in the end, Python has some additional thing, like there is a comparison. So after that, the comparison and logical operators operate. This is very important, because when you are writing in real world, it won't be that simple, right? You may have to write a very complex logical condition, and in that case, many a times we have seen that we fail to put it in a right way, and eventually ending up in calculating the wrong values in the column. So therefore, it is very important to put it in a right way and test it out. And for that, understanding operator precedence is very important. Okay. Again, the same example is there. There is a small mini challenge that we tried to execute. We assigned a salary certain value, bonus certain value, and tax rate certain value, and then we are calculating the net salary after tax, which is salary plus bonus minus salary into tax rate, because tax rate is something, this will calculate the tax, and tax is something which is going to go out. So therefore we put a subtraction, correct? So the right calculation will happen and we'll get a net salary. So here, if by mistake we don't put the brackets in a correct way, then the calculation will be lost. We will not get a correct net salary. So here in this case, you can check that addition is first performed and then subtraction, correct? And brackets are resolved first, so therefore the brackets will be resolved, salary plus bonus, addition will happen, and then even multiplication will happen, and then subtraction will happen, and therefore we'll get a correct net salary. Similarly, check if certain person is eligible for bonus. So here is an example where we are using a combination operator, a logical combination of things like a arithmetic, a logical operator, and a logical operator, and is a logical operator, and greater than is a comparison operator. So both operators we are using. Operators are the building blocks of all expressions and conditions. Arithmetic for calculation, comparison for condition, which gives the answer as true or false. Logical we use to combine the condition, and assignment to store the results. These are very powerful things whenever we are building out the code in Python for data engineering. Together, they help the data engineer transform, compare, validate data efficiently, whether inside Pandas transformation or in ETL function. They form a very critical part of this entire process. Thank you guys for listening into this. In next video, we are going to understand how to control the flow of operation in Python. Thank you. Thanks a lot.